Both the Democratic and Republican presidential candidates are crisscrossing the country, campaigning that they're just like the rest of us, and it turns out that they really are. Whether they're shaking hands or kissing babies, they get sick just like the rest of us. The fact is, we're all going to encounter billions of germs over the next several weeks. How can we protect ourselves? Well, microbiologist and germ researcher Dr. Charles Gerba, aka Dr. Germ, joins us live from New York this morning with more. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you on. So we see these candidates shaking hands constantly. What is it about humans touching other humans' hands that makes us so sick?
Well, when a person has a cold or flu, about a third of them will get the cold or flu virus on their hands. And every time they shake somebody's hands, they can readily transmit the virus to their hands. And when they bring their hands to their nose, face, in any fashion, they can actually very effectively transmit the cold. The candidate during the campaign season today will probably actually come in contact with billions of viruses. So if anybody needs to practice good hand hygiene, it's probably candidates. They should really be using hand sanitizers and washing their hands on a regular basis.
Yep, that'll definitely kill any germs. Now, besides shaking hands, germs are all around us. So what are the most common surfaces that we should avoid?
Yeah, common germy surfaces are like doorknobs, ATM machines, particularly the enter button, elevator buttons, first floor, everybody's got to take it to get out of the building, desktops, computer equipment, the mouse on the computer, for example. These are all high touch areas, and so every time you touch them, you're taking a risk of getting a cold or flu.
And, you know, we're going to be traveling a lot these holidays, travel to see our family, to see our friends. What are some of the most common travel types that have the most germs?
Yeah, we've done studies, and the germiest way of mass transport to travel is actually on a train, followed by a bus, followed by an airplane. Actually, your risk of getting a cold or flu if you take a bus is about 6 times greater than you take a car. So you're always going to kind of be running a germ gauntlet here and gambling with the possibility of getting germs. And eventually, as the odds always say, and everybody knows, you'll come down with a cold. So it's also a good idea this cold and flu season to stock up with something like Robitussin 12-hour cough relief to prevent coughing when you have the cold and flu, because every time you cough, you're going to be coughing out tens of thousands of droplets potentially with viruses in them. So you can really very effectively spread a virus to your family and friends by just coughing all the time in the same environment.
Oh, geez, that sounds terrible for the people around the cough person. Now, what are some other tips that you
your
have?
risk of actually getting a cold or flu if somebody coughs in your face is about 1 in 2.
Oh, man, that's crazy odds. Now, any other tips that you have for us before we let you go?
You know, I think one of the important things is to realize how important hand hygiene and sanitation is, and it can reduce your risk of getting ill, we've seen, by 30 to more than 50%. I think it's also important, if you do get the cold and flu, is to have something available like Robitussin severe multi-symptom cough and flu, so you don't spread the viruses around the household, and also treat the symptoms that you do have. If you want to get more information, go to Robitussin.com.
Fantastic. Dr. Germ, everybody, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Thank you.
All right. And stay where you are and stay healthy. We'll be right back.